Hello. Okay. So I wanted to tell you about the seeds that I just got. Just arrived in the mail. And I went and spent $20. There's a gift certificate, actually, that I received. And got some interesting things, and I actually don't remember everything that I purchased. But one of the things I purchased are these cool Mylar bags, like out of the space program or something. And the reason that I got these was to store the seeds, because I know there's no way I can plant all the seeds that I've received. So I got 3 of these. They weren't that expensive, but the idea is to keep out any kind of light. They trap the seeds in here in a relatively small amount of oxygen, so they last longer. So I plan on taking the seeds that I got here and putting them in those bags. So I tried to branch out with the stuff that I got this time. One of the things that I got were microgreens. Oh, look at that. It shows up backwards. That's interesting. Microgreens, beet dark red microgreens. And they say germination percentage on here, 90%. Purity percentage, 99%. I don't know what that means, purity percentage. Pure seeds. But these beet greens, as you can see in the picture, they grow. You plant a bunch of them together. And I think there might be some directions in here, but I plan on growing these in a small pot, about like what you see here. And any advice you might have on how to grow them, leave it in the comments, because I've never grown microgreens. But that's the first one, the microgreens beet dark red. All right, looking forward to that. I like anything that has color in it, really. Okay, let's see what the second thing is here. Okay, more microgreens. These are micro carrots. You can see from the picture, I know the rest is backwards. These also claim to have a high germination rate, 90%. And this one gets 99% purity. I didn't know seeds could be unpure. So it's 1% unpure. Doesn't sound like much fun. Oh, here's a good one. Yeah, now I have neighbors that have this one, and I could ask for a cutting there, but I figured it's about time I get some lemongrass. You ever had lemongrass? It's just like grass, but it tastes like a lemon. Well, they give this one a lower rate, germination rate, 85% germination rate on the lemongrass. You can see it's not much of a seed there. It almost looks like little pieces of leaf, but really small seeds. And this one gets the 99% purity as well. And they say it's approximately 65 seeds. So 65 lemongrass plants. Well, I guess it would be 85% of 65, since it's an 85% germination rate. That's a lot. That's why I got those Mylar bags, but I'm really looking forward to growing this one. There are some places, like I like to grow scallions and things like that around the yard. First of all, because you can mash up those scallions in water and spray it as a natural pest repellent and kill them, but it keeps them off of things if you need to. And I like the look of grass. So plants like lyrope, plants like scallion, society garlic. These are all things that I have grown over the years and love. So I did that. All right, I'm looking through my little collection here to see what I show next. All right, let's see. I'm going to go with this one. Oh, I'm really excited about this one. These are kale. Kale. Now, I like kale. I like kale. I've had friends that almost had created an ideology out of kale as a superfood, as a, let's not go too far. That's a lot of kale seeds. And again, microgreens, right? So when you see them all packed together, the idea is to plant them pretty close together. And this one, again, has a 90% germination rate, 99% purity, and a lot of seeds. I mean, a lot. They don't say the exact number, but it's a heaping bag full. So I'm sure this will last me a good long time. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, by the way, this little room that you see here is in the process of being upgraded. I actually have just a regular old lamp here that I'm using to provide light, but I've got one on the way that's going to be a lot better because I really enjoyed doing this live streaming. Now tonight I'm competing with the Trump and Biden town halls. Yeah, so if you're here, you're not watching that. And obviously I'm not. Clover sprouts. And that's the other area that I'm expanding into. Sprouts. I love bean sprouts. I like sprouts in general. I like sprouted wheat. I grew up on a farm in an agricultural area, and I ate a lot of wheat. And by eating wheat, I mean picking the wheat and pulling it into your hand and blowing away the chaff and eating wheat, raw wheat. I also love to eat soybeans. And another cool thing you can do is sprout the soybeans or sprout the wheat and eat it. So I'm going to do that. But this time, I'm going to do it with clover. Clover. Now, I really like clover. I used to eat a lot of clover as a kid, believe it or not, as it grew around. It's very sweet, almost like a tangy flavor to it, especially the flowers. So I like the idea of eating clover. So we'll see what that's all about. But the sprouts. Now, they say the way to do this is to sprout it in a container, like like one of those, what do they call them? No, anyway, one of those mason jars. So I'll try that. But there's lots of directions on how to sprout things, and it's really your choice. But again, look at how many seeds are in there. I think it's really cool how they are multicolored. Okay, let's see what else. Now we're into the really good stuff. Okay, Casper Egg Plant. That's right. Casper Egg Plant. It's a white eggplant. Now, they also had several other varieties of eggplant that I was interested in, and actually I kind of went on an eggplant bent. I wanted to get more eggplant than would be sane to get, but I decided to pick this one just because I grew up eating lots of the black eggplant, which I love, but the idea of a white eggplant, something I've never seen. So for me, high novelty, and I can't wait to grow it. I'm going to call this Casper the Friendly Ghost Eggplant. And, oh, here's a good one. I have high hopes for this one. I don't know what the germination rate will be, but we'll see. Okay, dill. Ducat dill. There's several kinds of dill, and this was one that seemed to be most hardy. It gets 85% germination rate, 100 seeds. Again, glad that I purchased those Mylar bags because I'm going to put them in here shortly after I plant them. And then the final thing that I got was the purple tiger pepper. Look at that. purple peppers. Peter picked a peck of purple peppers. And what he realized was that it has an 85% germination rate, which, you know, is only really accounted for when you consider that it's 99% purity. And then they sent me a little gift along with it for being awesome. Appreciate that. Seedsnow.com. Look at that. It's what they gave me was a free seed starter kit. Lettuce salad bowl red. Includes seeds and starter kit. So it looks like it's got 1 or 2 types of seeds in there, and then one of those little expanding discs, which should be pretty easy to grow. And then they give you a little bit of directions on the back of how to grow it. So, oh, and I also got a 20% off my next. Oh no, I showed everybody my discount code. Seed security. Let's be mindful. Okay, so that's a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds. And this is why I liberated myself from buying seeds at the local store. And the selection was always the same list of things, although there are some championship things on that local store list. And there are things like Mammoth Sunflowers, which I love. We used to grow Mammoth Sunflowers a lot in my yard. At one point we had 20 Mammoth Sunflowers growing all at once. And the reason why 20 sunflowers growing all at once is so intense is because Mammoth Sunflowers get to be about 6 to 8 feet tall in my experience. And we would always plant. It's hot in here. I need to get an air conditioner. As I look through this room, I'm going to need to get something more. This is kind of in the back area of my house, so it has a hard time getting air here. So it's just a hot place. And I am hot. But anyway, I got a little off the topic. So the Mammoth Sunflowers, we would grow them, but I would grow them at a time so that they would be approximately in the time to cut them down right when my kids were towards the end of their school year. And that was great because what we would love to do was to cut the 6 foot tall flower and bring that into the teacher to give the teacher a flower. And I think it was always appreciated. And I think it was also really weird. So I like that too. Now I've got an interesting sunflower story that I'll share with you. And that is, at one point we had gerbils. And when we bought the gerbils, they said, I asked, I don't want a male and female gerbil. I just want to enjoy a couple of gerbils. And they assured me, oh no, these are both female gerbils. Well, as it turns out, it was a male and a female gerbil, and they commenced to produce many more gerbils. Not what you want. How many gerbils is too many gerbils? I guess you'll have to answer that question on your own, but they would get loose every once in a while. They would get out of their cage or whatever. And then you've got gerbils in your house, which is something like having a mouse in your house. Okay, so how do you catch a gerbil that's loose? How do you catch a free-range gerbil? I mean, really, that's a moment you could deal with. And so what I decided to do was to get a metal bowl, like a metal salad bowl, and I just put raw sunflower seeds down in the bottom of the bowl. And I made a little ramp, a little cardboard ramp up to the bowl. And I just left it in my living room. And when I came back in, I had a gerbil in the bowl. Gerbils cannot resist sunflower seeds. And so it's a very peaceful way to recapture the gerbil, which we later gave away. And by the way, if somebody says to you, hey, would you like some gerbils? Think about it. Think it through. But anyway, yeah, this was just a short stream I wanted to do and share with you all of these wonderful seeds. which I will be planting in my series, What You Got Growing On. As a matter of fact, I need to expand my area because I'm running out of room. But I hope you'll watch. I hope you'll subscribe. We got a live stream coming on, a real one, not one that has to compete with fascinating political discussions. That's going to be happening at noon on Saturday, noon Eastern time. So I really hope you show up. I did one last weekend and I loved it. It was so fun to do. And we're going to do another one on Saturday, and I plan on doing a lot more. In fact, I'm thinking about transitioning over to a much more stream-based content on Eat Your Backyard. I'll still be doing the videos like I do, but I might cut the frequency of those down and do the interaction with the community a little bit more. I was pleased by how many people showed up with a half hour's notice last week. That was really cool. So, hey, if you're not subscribed already, please do. And go ahead, give me a like if you like it. Let me know what you think. If you have any experience growing any of these, please do. I've never grown any of these specific types, so we'll just have to see. But we'll all learn together, because I'm just going to go ahead and plant them in these little pots, 50-pot challenge that I'm doing. I'm going to plant them in the pots. We're going to water them, and we're going to watch them grow together, and maybe you'll be motivated to grow some things in your yard. I don't think we'll regret having the ability to feed ourselves from our own backyards anytime soon. I think this is something which is not only gratifying on many levels, but it's also got a certain utility to it, right? We live in an environment where food is much more prevalent than it might have been throughout human history, and it's easy to lose sight of that. And I simply like the idea of a whole food, meaning that you can pick something and eat it. And there's no in between that picking and that eating. Now, to me, that always, even as a small child, was something that fascinated me, that I loved. And I'm sharing that with you. I really appreciate it. So let me know what you think, and I hope I see you on Saturday. Thanks.